Have you ever designed something in CLO3D only to watch it slide right off your avatar? Like it's got a mind of its own. Yeah, we've all been there. But what if I told you there was a hidden tool in CLO3D that lets you anchor your garments exactly where you want them to sit? Like that perfect low-rise jean line for jeans that you've spent so much time working on. Or that perfect spot on your waistline. Hi, I'm Christina, and I help sewing enthusiasts master digital pattern making with tools like CLO3D so that they can create and confidently bring their designs to life with precision. In today's video, I'm going to be going into a deep dive in CLO3D's measurement tool. And stick around to the end because I'm sharing a bonus trick that even some advanced users overlook. A way to make sure your garment just doesn't look great, but also stays exactly where you need it to on your avatar. So let's go ahead and jump in. I am going to share my screen here. I have my avatar over here all set up and ready. So I'm going to be talking about the measurement tool, which is these guys right here. I'm going to go ahead and bring them out so that they all line up nicely. I'm going to put it into a third row of tools there for me. That way I can easily access them and we can look at them one by one. Now, let's just talk about these. This very top one right here is the Edit Measure tool. So if you ever use this tool and you want to edit anything that you've already measured or already put on the avatar, you're going to move to this tool to measure. Remember, with all of these tools, that tool at the very top of all of them with the little arrow on it is normally the edit whatever tool. So this is the Edit Measure tool. You have sometimes the Edit Zipper tool, what are some of the other ones off the top? Edit Pin tool, Edit Piping tool. So it's one of those that is in all the things. And if you're just like, I want to edit this thing and I don't know why it's not letting me, make sure you're in that Edit Measure tool. The next one down is the Basic Circumference. And if we actually click on it, you'll see that there are two tools hidden within this one tool, the Basic Circumference Measurement and the Surface Circumference Measurement. We'll be going over what the difference between those two are in just a minute. The next one is like a straight measuring tape. So instead of going around your body, you're going to be doing more of just like those straight lines that you want to measure. Again, we have the basic measuring tape, then we have the surface measuring tape, we have the linear, and then we also have the height. So these are all different ones. We'll be going deep dive into each one of these and how you would use them in each one of them. Then the last tool that we have here is the Attach to Measure tool. This is that bonus tip that we're going to be looking at and talking about at the end of this video. So make sure you stick around. So I'm going to go back up to our circumference measure. We're going to start with a basic circumference. And I'm just going to zoom in to my bust and we're going to take a measurement. By clicking once, I click a second time, and then you will see it actually then creates a full circle. So wherever I want that circle to land, that's where I'm going to know. So if you want to do more of a neckline, you can do a neckline. If you want to go around the shoulders, you can go around the shoulders. Or if you want to do just what your bust measurement is, you can click your third click wherever you want that to land. So I'm just going to go center back. And you can see I have a number that pops up here, kind of in this deep purple, 32.66. It's basically just like taking a tape measure, going all the way around your avatar, and what you would normally get out of a tape measure. Now, if I moved to the surface circumference and did the exact same measurement, so between my two bust points and then my exact center back, it pops up in a orange color. And if you can see, it also turns to a darker orange, and it's actually following the curves of your body. So it's actually following the actual surface of the avatar instead of more like a basic measuring tape, which kind of bridges over the concave areas of the body. So that's one thing to know, that you can measure both, and you can use both measurements depending on what you're looking to build, what you're looking to create, and both of them can be very, very useful. Just remember, one is the surface, meaning it's touching everything, and then there's the circumference that works much more like a tape measure. Next, we're gonna move down to the basic tape measure. This one we're also going to look at. We're going to maybe do high point shoulder to waist, and we're going to double click to end, and we're going to kind of look at it from the side here. You can see it is not following the curve of the body, very similar to how the basic tape measure worked for the other one. Now, if I change this to the surface tape measure and click the exact same route, double click to finish, we can now see it has turned that deeper orange, and it is following the curve of the body. So the two measurements are different, and when you click on it, you can see this one's 17.14, whereas the purple one, let's see if I can grab it, there we go. The purple one is 17.015. So maybe about an eighth of an inch difference. If I did that calculation, maybe it's like a 16th of an inch difference. I don't think I did that calculation quite right in my head. But those are how you can kind of tell the difference between those two. And it's nice because they do color code them. Then the next thing we're going to do is a linear measure. This one's really handy in CLO3D because it is a linear measure. This is something you can't actually get on a human, because it's like if I want to measure my shoulder to shoulder right here, you can actually see that shoulder point to shoulder point that I'm measuring is directly through the avatar. So you can actually, let me actually double click to end that. If you are wanting to measure like your armpit up to your shoulder tip, you can actually do that, and it's actually measuring inside of your avatar. So we actually can't do that on real humans because we're not going to chop off our arm just to measure this one part. But it can be a really handy tool to be able to work with and see different measurements. Then the last tool under that one is the height measurement. And this one I find really helpful because you can say, oh, I want to know the waist, the underbust, the center front neck, and the inseam. And then it just keeps all those measurements right there. Again, we can go back up to our edit measure tool, and it will tell you all of these different measurements as you click on them. So it's a really great way if you're trying to get a very specific height for maybe a skirt or the length of something. This can be a really handy tool to kind of use and work with so that you can really create something with that exact measurement in mind. Now that we kind of understand all these different measurement tools, I'm just going to pop over to a different CLO program really fast where I have just a basic gathered skirt already kind of prepped, and we can take a look at how we can use this final measurement tool. I am going to pop this up so we're still in the same positioning right up here and everybody is able to see it. So if I were to just go ahead and simulate right now, see how it's kind of falling off my avatar. It's not really staying exactly where I want it to go. If I actually look at this top line right here, let's pop up here. The 2D line length is only 15 inches, but it is stretching to 18.6, which is over 3.5 inches of stretch. So if I wanted to just say, I don't want to deal with changing the fabric right now. I just want it to stay where I want it to be so I can do some minor changes and look at some design features. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop simulating and I'm going to do a basic circumference right around the waist because the waist should be about 30 inches. It's 29.5. So that's another reason why it's probably not quite staying up like it should. It is about half an inch too big. But that doesn't mean, it's stretching 3.5 inches. So that's that. So then what we're going to do is we're going to move down to our attach to measure tool right here. And we're going to select the top of the skirt. And then I'm going to select the then I'm going to select the measurement I want it to attach to. And I'll go ahead and simulate it because it is only going to do the front because I don't have it duplicated on the back, but it pops it right up there. So then I'm going to do the same with the back so that it can measure to that top, resimulate, and now it is popping it straight to that avatar. It's sewing it to her, so she's going to stay right where I want it to. And then we can go back and we can check our measurement. And now 2D length is 15 and the 3D line length is measuring at 15.18. So it's still stretching a little bit, but not very much. I still have the particle distance really high right now. And there's a lot of stuff going on. This is super basic skirt that we are working with, but it is a really great tool that you can actually attach your clothing to the avatar and make it stay exactly where you want it to. This helps if you have some different shaped people that have a larger belly than hips, because we don't have that natural going in area to help hold on the clothes. It can really help make sure that you're getting everything sitting where you need it to be or where it's supposed to be. So that is a really, really useful tool, and I highly, highly recommend checking it out, testing it out, and seeing how you can create or use it yourself. And that is how you can use the measurement tool in CLO3D. So it's not just about precision, but you can literally lock and sew your garments right where you need them to be. Now, I would love to hear from you. What CLO3D tool do you want me to break down next? Drop it in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and tap the bell so that you get all the notifications when all the future tutorials come out. I've got lots of more tips coming here in CLO3D, Adobe Illustrator, and Affinity Designer, all to help you master digital pattern drafting with confidence. So thank you again so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in some of my other videos. Happy patterning!